Hey, what's up you guys? It's Mike Nardi here. Today I'm talking to you about Fiverr's Out of Office feature. Fiverr Out of Office is a feature available to sellers on the profile page of your seller profile. It effectively pauses all of your gigs so that they won't appear in Fiverr search. Buyers won't be able to message you about your gigs. They'll receive a little notice, and they also won't be able to purchase any of your gigs while the out of office function is turned on. It's a handy tool that you can use if you want to go on vacation or if you just need a break from all of your Fiverr work. In this video, I'll discuss when you should consider using it, when you should consider not using it, and whether or not using the out of office feature will negatively impact your gigs down the road. And as always, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button, it really helps me get these videos noticed by more people. Thanks. All right, so Fiverr Out of Office. If you're already a seller on Fiverr, it's this one little feature that you probably not noticed yet. It's on your Fiverr profile. You can find it right under your profile details. It's this little toggle that says Out of Office beside it. So as you might imagine, when you're a freelancer or someone running a freelancing business on Fiverr, the concept of a vacation isn't as straightforward as it would be if you were just working a 9-to-5. If you're a business of one employee, going on vacation kind of means that the work is just going to stop for the time being. And that can be scary for some people. You know, maybe you're someone who's pretty early in your Fiverr career. You might be reluctant to even think about taking a vacation because that essentially means you're putting, your business and the progress you're making on hold. And that's scary for new sellers, and a lot of them don't want to do that. I was one of them. If you're a level 2 seller and you're working towards top rated status, you might have the same feelings. You just don't want to take your foot off the gas. So a lot of people are reluctant to use that out of office feature or even think about taking vacations when they're selling on Fiverr. And the last kind of bucket of people who might have a little bit of out of office anxiety are even top rated sellers. I've heard a lot of people online talk about how they're nervous or afraid that if they use the out of office function, they might negatively hurt the SEO of their gigs that have been ranking on page 1 or really highly on Fiverr. And that's scary for sellers too. So these are all real fears that various types of sellers have, and they're all pretty valid. If you rely on Fiverr as a source of income, you want to make sure that going on vacation isn't going to destroy that source of income for you, and that's understandable. So the question is, what should you do? Well, I'll start by giving you an example of what I've done for the last couple of vacations that I've been on myself. So if I have a planned vacation coming up, the first thing I do is 7 days before that vacation, I'll go into Fiverr and I'll change all of the delivery timelines for all of my gigs to reflect an additional number of days for the length that I'll be away on vacation. So if I'm going away for a week, I'll add 7 days to my delivery timelines for all my gigs. The reason I do this is because I feel like I'm still growing my Fiverr business. I've been doing pretty well and things have been starting to pick up, but I feel like there's still a lot of ground to cover before I'm really like a top player on the Fiverr platform. So I feel like when I'm on vacation, I really would like to keep responding and keep my response rate high, because that's one of my core values as a seller. I respond really quickly to my buyers and I don't want that to stop while I'm on vacation. I also feel like a big part of getting your gigs to rank highly is having a good SEO strategy. And while I can't confirm or deny this because I don't work for Fiverr, I feel that by taking your gigs off for a period of a week or 2 weeks can't be that good for your SEO, or it just gives other sellers an opportunity to outrank you. So that's the other reason that I've kind of been just keeping my phone on me while I'm on vacation so I can respond to these requests. So essentially this is a personal choice I make. I make sure to have my phone on me. I'll complete all of the projects that I had ordered before the vacation, before I go on the vacation, and I'll complete them early enough that any revision requests, I should be able to get them done before going on the vacation. So essentially while I'm on vacation, all I'd really be doing in a perfect world is just responding to new interested buyers. I try my best to avoid actually working on projects while on vacation. Sometimes it happens, but that's kind of the hope I have. So this is my strategy and it's worked so far, but it's not without its downsides. The first and most obvious is that you never really fully unplug doing this strategy. You always have your phone on you. When a message comes in, you're inclined to respond and you're not totally unplugging yourself from the work that you have in your regular day-to-day. And that's not great. So luckily for me, I have a super understanding girlfriend and she knows I'm trying to grow this business. So it's not the end of the world if I am responding to a couple messages while on vacation, but this isn't the ideal situation. And in future, I probably see myself using the out of office function because I think I've gotten to the point where the Fiverr business has grown so much that a week or 2 offline, I don't think would be detrimental to my future success. So that's just an example of my situation. I know at the beginning of this video, I mentioned talking about when you should consider using that function, maybe when not to consider using the function, and whether or not it might negatively impact your gig. So I'll talk a little bit about those 3 right now. So for the first 2, when you should consider using it, and maybe when you should consider not using it. It's kind of the short and simple answer, but it's totally reliant on you and what you think is right for you. And the reason is that growing a business on Fiverr is great. It's super exciting. And as you start getting traction, more orders, and making some real money, it's kind of hard to stop. But on the flip side, rest, recovery, and time with your family is also super important. And you don't want to have like a meltdown or crash from, not giving yourself a break. So I feel like it's a fine balance. If you feel like you're in hyper growth mode in the early stages and you want to sacrifice some of your free time to make sure you're keeping your stats up, maybe don't use it at the beginning if you feel that's the right choice for you. But if on the flip side, you're balancing a family, kids, a girlfriend, a wife, and you really have a great vacation plan, you should consider it. Fiverr is great, but at the end of the day, why are you doing all this work? You're doing it so you can enjoy your life, right? So keep that in mind when you're, playing with the idea of whether it's right for you. Everyone's going to be different, but, hopefully that helps you make the right decision. So now to answer the actual tough question, whether or not using it will negatively impact your gigs. So for this one, it's a yes and no answer. No, because assuming you don't dramatically change anything, your gig description, the keywords, your gig title, and the keywords there, and assuming that the competition on Fiverr isn't dramatically making leaps and bounds of changes over you, a 1 or 2 week break probably shouldn't have that big of a negative hit to your gig's SEO or authority. So I don't think it would really impact you that much there. Maybe. But on the flip side, it might negatively impact your gigs for the obvious reason that you're not going to be taking any new orders or taking advantage of new opportunities while you're away. And in that time, those new prospective buyers might be going to your competition, ultimately giving them more orders and more 5-star reviews, which would indirectly, help them get above you in the Fiverr ranks. So it's kind of a yes and no, but at the end of the day, I don't think a couple of weeks are that big of a deal, especially because over the long term, your competition's probably going to be taking breaks as well. So it might all even out in the end. And that's really it for this video. I wanted to make sure I made a video discussing Fiverr's out of office because I know it's something that gives a lot of sellers anxiety, but at the same time, it's important to understand what the out of office functionality can offer you and how important it is to take breaks in your day-to-day as a freelancer. So thanks again for watching. If this video was helpful, give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, cheers.